Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Wednesday at noon and is uploaded to our YouTube channel as well as our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page so you can watch it on demand. Today is April 24th, 2019, and now the news at noon.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a well-known singer-songwriter in Durango died in a head-on crash Tuesday morning north of Durango. The victim was identified as 67-year-old Greg Ryder, said Captain Adrian Driscoll with the Colorado State Patrol. Ryder was a longtime regular performer at the Diamond Bell Saloon and the Office Spiritorium in the Strater Hotel. He was also a former member of the Bardi Wranglers, playing with the iconic cowboy band for about a decade, starting in 1989. The crash occurred at 6:41 a.m. near milepost 32 of U.S. Highway 550 in the Hermosa area. Highway 550 was closed for about 3.5 hours while law enforcement investigated and cleared the scene. Traffic was rerouted on County Road 203. Nathaniel Andrew, age 24, of Durango, was driving north on Highway 550 when he ran off the right side of the road, hit a guardrail, came back across the road, and hit an oncoming vehicle being driven by Ryder, Driscoll said. Andrew was taken to Mercy Regional Medical Center with moderate injuries, where he was treated and released. Ryder died on scene, Driscoll said. Andrew was driving a 2012 white Ford F-350. Ryder was driving a 2006 blue Chevy pickup. No drugs or alcohol are suspected in the crash, but law enforcement suspect fatigue on the part of Andrew may be a factor, Driscoll said.
Reported in the Durango Herald, photo Upper Pine River Fire Protection District. A kayaker required rescue on Tuesday afternoon after getting injured at a dangerous Class 4 rapid on Vallecito Creek. Bruce Evans, fire chief for Upper Pine River Fire Protection District, said a call came in around 3 p.m. that a kayaker was injured and stranded in the remote, hard-to-access gorge. Initial information indicated 2 local kayakers, both male, were out on a section of Vallecito Creek that features up to Class 5 rapids, considered the most difficult class of runnable rapids. According to American Whitewater, Vallecito Creek is, quote, remote and hazardous. The gorge is committing and escape is not easy. On Tuesday, the creek was flowing at 1.9 feet, considered an optimal flow for the stretch. Evans said both men were skilled and experienced kayakers. However, one of the kayakers injured his shoulder at a rapid known as Trash Can. Evans did not have all the details immediately available, but he said it appears the kayaker ran into a strainer, an extremely dangerous and sometimes deadly obstacle on a river where debris, often tree limbs and branches, can trap boaters. Quote, it takes a unique maneuver to get around it, Evans said. It's a notorious place to hang a kayak. The injured kayaker was able to get on shore while his partner floated down the creek to get to an area with cell phone service to alert authorities. Evans said the first rescue crews were on scene at the trailhead within 4 minutes and started to hike in. After making contact with the injured hiker, rescue crews set up a rigging system to raise the man up 100 vertical feet to the top of the canyon. As of 6 p.m. Tuesday, Evans said the injured kayaker had been brought up to the top of the canyon and was getting ready to hike out with emergency personnel. It was a 5-mile walk to the trailhead, he said. The injury was not serious, but it prevented him from getting out of the canyon, Evans said. In all, almost 20 rescue personnel responded. Evans said drone footage was taken of the rescue so emergency personnel can review their actions.
Reported by the Durango Herald, outbreaks in New York State continue to drive up the number of U.S. measles cases, which are approaching levels not seen in 25 years. Health officials say 71 more cases were reported last week, with 68 of them from New York. That brings this year's total to 626. That is already the most since 2014, when 667 were reported for the whole year. The most before that was 933 cases in 1994. 22 states have reported cases, but the vast majority have been in New York, mainly in New York City and in nearby Rockland County. Most of the New York cases have been unvaccinated people in Orthodox Jewish communities. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released the latest numbers Monday.
Empire Electric Association's wholesale energy supplier is one of more than 20 companies that funded a lobbying firm devoting to fighting environmental protections. That reported on in the Durango Herald with a photo AP Alan Rogers. The lobbying firm Utility Air Regulatory Group is facing a congressional investigation because its former employees are now officials at the Environmental Protection Agency, where they may be continuing to serve the interests of utility companies, according to a news release from the House Committee on Energy and Commerce. The Utility Air Regulatory Group is a secretive organization that was run out of the law firm Hunton and Williams and is known for fighting Clean Air Act rules, according to S&P Global Market Intelligence. The Clean Air Act governs the emissions of air pollutants such as mercury. Empire Electric's wholesale energy supplier, Tri-State Generation and Transmission, paid $167,418 in 2017 to Hunton and Williams, according to Politico, a national nonprofit news outlet. It was one of more than 20 industry groups and utility companies, including some of the largest coal-burning power producers, that collectively paid the law firm $8.2 million in 2017. Tri-State also supplies La Plata Electric Association. About 48% of Tri-State's power comes from coal, according to the Center for New Energy Economy. Politico also reported an employee for Hunton and Williams, Bill Wehram, is now working for the EPA as an assistant administrator in charge of issues including climate change, smog, and power plants' mercury pollution. The House Committee on Energy and Commerce is now investigating the Utility Air Regulatory Group and whether attorneys who formerly represented the group, including Wehram, are continuing to serve the interests of utility companies while working at the EPA. As part of the investigation, the committee sent a letter to Tri-State this month asking for the source of funds the co-op sends to the Utility Air Regulatory Group. The letter is also seeking all documents exchanged between employees of Tri-State and specified current or former EPA employees, among other communications and documents. In addition to Tri-State participating in the Utility Air Regulatory Group as a member, a Tri-State official has held a leadership role with the group. Tri-State's Senior Vice President of Policy and Chief Compliance Officer, Barbara Walls, served on the Policy Council and Steering Committee for the Utility Air Regulatory Group, according to her bio on the University of North Dakota website. She has served on the Group Policy Council since 2005 and on the Steering Committee since 2010. Tri-State is a member of the Utility Air Regulatory Group because the group allows Tri-State to have access to industry-wide information and public comment processes that facilitate Tri-State's compliance with the Clean Air Act, said Lee Bohe, a Tri-State spokesperson. He said the co-op looks forward to responding to the questions from the federal committee. Tri-State's responses are due this week.
From the Durango Herald, 3 months ago, this flu season was shaping up to be short and mild in the U.S., but a surprising second viral wave has made it the longest in 10 years. This flu season has been officially going on for 21 weeks, according to reports collected through last week and released Friday by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. That makes it among the longest seen since the government started tracking flu season data duration more than 20 years ago. The previous longest recent flu was 20 weeks, which occurred in 2014-15. The current season began the week of Thanksgiving, a typical start time. At the beginning, most illnesses were caused by a flu strain that tends not to cause as many hospitalizations and which is more easily controlled by vaccines. But in mid-February, a nastier strain started causing more illnesses and driving up hospitalizations. Not helping matters, the harsher bug is not well matched to the vaccine, said the CDC's Lynette Bramer, who oversees flu tracking. Still, this flu season is not nearly as bad as last winter's 19-week season, the deadliest in at least 4 decades. An estimated 80,000 Americans died of flu and its complications last season. The CDC is estimating that flu-related deaths this season in the range of 35,000 to 55,000. And now let's take a look at the weather.
The local area DCTV 5-day weather outlook is today sunny with a high near 68 degrees with north-northeast winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. And tonight mostly clear with a low around 42. North winds remain at 5 to 15 miles an hour. Then Thursday, a slight chance of rain showers comes in 20% after 4 p.m. Mostly sunny during the day with a high near 73 degrees. Thursday night, again, the 20% chance remains into the night for showers before midnight. Partly cloudy skies with a low around 46 and still breezy. Friday, a slight chance of showers with thunderstorms also possible in the afternoon. Mostly sunny with a high near 73 degrees. Southeast winds 5 to 15 miles an hour become west-southwest in the afternoon. and those winds could gust as high as 25 miles an hour. Friday night, that slight chance for showers and thunderstorms continues into the night. Partly cloudy with a low around 46 degrees. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 70 degrees. Saturday night, partly cloudy with a low around 44. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high again near 72 degrees. Sunday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 46. And Monday, mostly sunny with a high near 69 degrees. Monday night, mostly cloudy and a low around 41. So we have a nice week with just slight chances for rain on the afternoons a couple of days. And now, let's get back to the news.
According to the Durango Herald, between heavy metal contamination from legacy mines in Silverton, high levels of E. coli from unknown sources, and higher water temperatures that stress aquatic life, the Animas River has its problems. So it was good fortune historically that the pristine waters of Hermosa Creek rushed into the Animas River north of Durango, providing an injection of clear, clean water that helped dilute some of the river's water quality issues. Not so anymore. The 416 fire that ripped through an estimated 54,000 acres last summer, mostly within the Hermosa Creek watershed on National Forest Service lands, has completely altered the landscape and turned Hermosa Creek into another area of concern for the overall health of the Animas River. In response, a partnership has formed between several research groups to help not only understand how the 416 fire has affected Hermosa Creek and the Animas River, but also to track both waterways' path to recovery. The 416 fire broke out June 1st, 2018 on the east side of the Hermosa Cliffs and ripped its way into the Hermosa Creek watershed. Heavy rains on the burn scar in July and September brought down catastrophic mudslides, damaging private property and causing nearly all the fish in the Animas through Durango to die. Sampling last summer and fall after the fire found water quality had been substantially degraded, Roberts said.
From Fox 31 in Colorado, the Colorado Supreme Court is set to decide whether a law banning gun magazines that hold more than 15 rounds violates a person's state constitutional right to bear arms. The Denver Post reports that the Colorado Supreme Court announced Monday that it would hear the case, which stems from a 2016 lawsuit by Rocky Mountain gun owners and other gun rights advocates challenging the law. Neither the Rocky Mountain gun owners nor the National Association for Gun Rights, which is also a plaintiff in the case, returned requests for comment. The Colorado Court of Appeals and a district court found the law constitutional. Giffords Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence litigation director Hannah Shearer says it would be surprising if the state Supreme Court were to deviate from those decisions. We'll follow this and let you know the Colorado Supreme Court decision when it's available here on DCTV.
From the Cortez Journal, gas prices are expected to break $3 per gallon in southwest Colorado during the summer driving holidays, according to AAA. The last time gas prices broke $3 in Colorado was October 2014, said Skylar McKinley, a spokesman for AAA. This year, gas prices in Colorado are likely to peak on Memorial Day and track close to $3 per gallon through the spring and summer driving season across Colorado, according to a news release. Southwest Colorado is likely to follow state trends and track slightly above average, McKinley said. Montezuma County's gas prices are likely to track higher than Durango's because it is not a population center, he said. Regional population centers tend to see lower prices. The current average price for gas is $2.80 in Durango, up from $2.76 in April 2018, according to AAA. The average price of gas across Colorado is $2.72 per gallon, up 30 cents from this time last month and about 10 cents higher than they were in April 2018. Gas prices are also higher than they were in 2016 and 17 at this time. As gas prices rise, consumers reconsider their drinking habits and their driving habits and plans, McKinley said. When gas prices cross the $3 per gallon mark, drivers consider carpooling and making other changes, but they don't typically take action, McKinley said.
Representatives appointed to the Bears Ears National Monument Advisory Committee, as reported in the San Juan Record in Monticello, Utah by Rhett Sifford. 15 individuals are now officially part of the initial Bureau of Land Management Bears Ears National Monument Advisory Committee, or BENMAC, BENMAC. The April 11 appointments are the culmination of a nomination process that began in September of 2018. The BENMAC was established as part of the presidential proclamations of Presidents Barack Obama and Donald Trump that established, then modified, the Bears Ears National Monument. The initial BENMAC includes Bruce Adams in the local elected official category, Gordon Lawson representing state government, Brooks Britt, paleontology, Lee Bennett, archaeology, Miles Moretti, conservation, Gail Johnson, livestock, grazers, and permittees, Alfred Ben and Ryan Benally, tribal concerns, Jared Barrett and Dustin Randall, developed recreation, Danny Flannery, dispersed recreation, Zeb Dalton, private landowners, Adam Redd, local business owners, and Jamie Bales and Kelly Fearson, representing the public at large. Terms for the initial members of the BENMAC are staggered, so they don't all expire at the same time. Open periods for new nominations will be announced in the Federal Register. The new committee will provide information and advice regarding the development of Monuments Management Plan and the management of the monument as stated in the presidential proclamations establishing the monument. New BLM Monticello Field Manager Gary Torres said, quote, "I'm heartened by all of the community involvement and interest in managing public lands. I'd like to echo Lance's welcome to the new committee members and extend our appreciation to everyone who submitted applications." In addition to the BENMAC, the presidential proclamation of President Trump also established the Shashjaa Commission, which consists of one elected officer each from the Hopi Nation, Navajo Nation, Ute Mountain Ute Tribe, Ute Indian Tribe of the Uinta Ure, and the Zuni Tribe, designated by the officers' respective tribes. The Shashjaa Commission also includes San Juan County Commission District 3 Representative Kenneth Maryboy. According to a BLM spokesperson, the BLM and the Forest Service have engaged and will continue to seek tribal input, and communication is ongoing throughout the Bears Ears National Monument planning process. The draft Environmental Impact Statement, the EIS, describes consultation and coordination efforts in more detail in Chapter 4 of the Draft Management Plan and EIS. Resource advisory councils were established by the Federal Land Policy and Management Act 43 U.S.C. 1739 as citizen advisory groups to the BLM. These citizen-based groups provide an opportunity for individuals from all backgrounds and interests to have a voice in the management of America's public lands and to help improve their health and productivity.
From the Durango Herald, more Mexican gray wolves are roaming the American Southwest now than at any time since federal biologists began reintroducing the predators more than 2 decades ago. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced this month. Agency officials declared progress for the endangered species in New Mexico and Arizona, saying there are at least 131 wolves in the wild in the 2 states. That represents a 12% jump in the population. The rarest subspecies of gray wolf in North America, Mexican gray wolves, have struggled to gain ground since the first release in 1998 because of poaching, politics, legal challenges, and even complications from a lack of genetic diversity. The population increase comes as gray wolves have marked their own turnaround elsewhere, prompting federal officials to reconsider that species' endangered and protected status. Now, more than 6,000 gray wolves live in portions of 9 states, including Oregon, where officials recently reported a 10% increase in population there. Making up only a fraction of the wolves in the U.S., Mexican wolves are in a more precarious position with their limited numbers, and the population is still far from where biologists had initially envisioned the species would be by now. Environmentalists have long called for the release of more captive wolves to boost the population in the Southwest. They also have complained about confining the physical boundaries of the recovery program, saying that has helped to limit the population.
And now today's High Canyon Country happenings. Friday, April 26th, from 6 to 9 p.m., the Montezuma's Got Talent show will be presented at the Montezuma Cortez High School Auditorium. The grand prize is $500. Judges include Gary Cook from the Bardee Wranglers, Donnie Steigelmeyer and Donnie Johnson, our very own Jerry Baxter as MC. Doors open promptly at 6:15 p.m. Pre-show Four Corners Community Band. The tickets for children aged 3 to 12 are $5 and adults aged 13 and over are $10. Children 2 and under are free if they're sitting on a lap. Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., come out to the Dolores County Farmers Market Spring Open House. It'll be hosted at the side of the DC Press Building on North Main Street in Dove Creek. Join their Facebook group or follow them online to get involved with the raised bed community gardening or the market, which will start in July. And Saturday, April 27th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. at the Canyons of the Ancients Visitor Center and Museum, a lecture will be held entitled Lipe and Wiki, How Many Turkeys Does It Take to Make a Blanket? That will be presented and hosted by the Four Corners Lecture Series, Southwest Colorado Canyons Alliance, and the Bureau of Land Management. And all of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, you can contact us by email, dcbnnews@gmail.com, or call the station 970-677-4119.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is available online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page on demand.
Be sure to like us there on Facebook and join in on the news of our area, and of course, please share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.